Hey everybody, welcome to the rainy day at my bug out location. So in that scenario video that we just watched, our character, our good guy, was in a really bad spot. When our marauder had our character pinned, our character could not deploy his rifle, so our character had to go to his backup weapon, which was that push dagger. And because the back of the neck is not a place where backup weapons are normally kept, that marauder never realized that our character, our good guy, was actually getting ready to deploy that edged weapon on that marauder. In that scenario, that marauder went from, I'm getting the best of this guy and I'm getting ready to take all of his stuff, to, holy crap, I'm starting to regret my life's decisions. I need to back away from him because I don't like getting stabbed by whatever he's stabbing me with. And that is the subject of this video because I believe that this is an excellent backup weapon that you can carry. So let's first take a hard look at what a backup weapon is for, what it's intended for. The simple fact is that if you are having to go for your backup weapon, then that means that you are not able to deploy your primary weapon. Therefore, if you're having to go for your backup weapon, you are more than likely in a really bad spot. So point number one with the backup weapon is that you need to be able to reach it in no matter what kind of a condition you are. And that's one of the things I like about this push dagger, is that I can reach it with my right hand, I can reach it with my left hand, I can reach it if I'm pinned up against the wall, I can reach it if I'm down on the ground and a bad guy has a full mount on me. There are little situations where I would not be able to reach one hand to get to that. And the second thing about a backup weapon is I believe it would be best if you can deploy it fast without your opponent realizing that you're going for it. Again, if you are going for your backup weapon, you're probably going to be in close quarters combat. And the last thing that you want is for a bad guy that's probably going to be within arm's reach of you, knowing that you're getting ready to deploy a lethal weapon against him or your backup weapon. And that's another thing that I like about this backup weapon here, is that it doesn't look like I'm going for the weapon. The average person, the average bad guy would not expect that I was getting ready to pull a weapon out. What I really like about this is how you can make it look like you're guarding your face, how you're protecting your face, and you can actually be reaching for that weapon. And then before they know it, they're starting to get sliced and diced up. Now, in my career in law enforcement, I have seen plenty of people, both police and non-police, that carry backup weapons like boot knives, or they have an ankle holster or something like that. And my concern with carrying backup weapons like that is, would you be able to reach that backup weapon if you're pinned up against the wall? Would you be able to reach that backup weapon if a bad guy is on top of you and has a full mount and he's doing ground and pound? Now, I'm not knocking you if you choose to carry a boot knife or an ankle holster. Just what I want to put out here is maybe this is something that you might want to consider, being how you could reach this from pretty much any type of situation that you might find yourself in, especially in close quarters combat. So the way that I carry this push dagger as a backup weapon is that the sheath to that push dagger is just simply Velcroed to the back of my shirt, just right below my neck. And again, with it being right there, I can reach that with either hand, so there would be very few situations where I could not reach that weapon when I needed to reach it the most. Just again as an example, with that scenario video, that marauder thought I was reaching up to protect my face, when in reality I was actually going for that push dagger. Now, that push dagger is not going to kill somebody unless you hit them just in the right exact spot. But what that push dagger will do is, once you get 3 or 4 stabs into that guy, he's going to realize that he doesn't like being right in front of you. He's going to change his mind about committing that assault on you, And because he doesn't want to get stabbed, he's going to create some distance. And once he creates that distance, then you can go back and deploy your primary weapon and take the appropriate action to defend your life. So the way that I attach this to my shirt is very simple. On my shirt itself, I just sew on the female side or the loop side of Velcro onto my shirt. And then I make that strip kind of long because then I can adjust how high up or how much lower I might need to do that depending on how big the collar is of my shirt. And then to attach the knife to the back of my shirt, I just simply used self-adhesive Velcro, the male or the hook side of the Velcro, and I just attach that to the sheath. That way it hooks onto my shirt. And for anybody that's curious, this is a Cold Steel brand Best Pal push dagger. And I'm not even certain if they even carry that actual model anymore or not. But the main thing is that you want a Kydex or a plastic style sheath because you want the adhesive to the Velcro to stick to your sheath. Now, another great thing about this backup weapon is let's say it is after it's post SHTF and for some reason you get taken prisoner. Now, usually when people search people for weapons, they check their waistband, they pat up and down their legs like you see on TV. One place that people rarely ever check for a weapon is on the back of the neck. So chances are if you do get taken hostage or taken prisoner or something like that, chances are you will retain your backup weapon to deploy that when you need to. And kind of going on with, post grit down situation and you get taken hostage or prisoner, it's very common for the hostage takers or whomever to tell you or the prisoner to put your hands on your head. And what they don't realize is that when they instruct you to do that, they are actually placing your hands within inches of that backup weapon. And of course you would deploy that backup weapon when the time was right. But the main thing that I really love about this backup weapon is that there are very few situations where I am not going to be able to reach it with at least one of my hands to deploy that weapon to save my life. Now really quick everybody, I want to give big huge thanks to my neighbor. He actually owns the property next to my bug out location out here in the middle of nowhere, and he agreed to come over. He's a fellow prepper too. He's a great guy, but he agreed to come over today and play the part of the marauder. And I have to say this about my neighbor is, again, he is an excellent guy, and he is the complete opposite side of a marauder. But please excuse our scenario video if it's not Hollywood standards. Just remember, I'm just a dude with a camera on the internet. And to see a whole playlist that I have devoted to showing you what happens to you both during and after, and both mentally and criminally when you're forced to use deadly force to protect yourself, then click on the video that should be appearing on the screen just about now to know what most preppers don't know. Anyways, folks, this is enough internet for me today, and it is raining cats and dogs out here. But folks, if you made it this far, hey, thank you very much for watching, and I pray that you have a good night.